Hello, fellow Broodwar players. I have a match here submitted to me by Lucky Noob on the map PGT R Point. This appears to be a map played in the CPL Race Wars today on March 6th between our Red Protoss player AnyTime GM and our Yellow Terran Boxer. I am told it's quite an interesting game. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm excited to hop right into it. Taking a quick look at here at the map, because it isn't a map that most people are going to be familiar with from the ladder. You have your very large main base. I mean, this is a massive, massive, massive main base with a ramp that leads down to a kind of awkward open area. Your natural, if you want to call it a natural, is up here, tucked in right here at the top. There's kind of a little bit of drop play possible up here, and then there's kind of a bit of a choke here, which leads to your base here. And then you have this large, wide open center with a third base here, here, or here. With this base, you have an entrance here. With these bases, I believe they're islands. Let me double check that. Yes, so these bases right here are islands, and I think this one might be too. No, there is a small gap between the gas that you can go through here. So a very awkward map, not standard by any means. And so far, the gameplay that we do have is standard. Usually on these kind of wonky maps, you have some goofy play coming out on occasion, which is kind of what I was expecting with this was sent in, so we'll have to see what our players bring for us. But we do have our gateway started here. Pretty normal timing, nothing crazy going on. Starting it in the base, I have a barracks coming down here for our Terran. Our Terran is going to scout our Protoss first, and our Protoss is going to scout our Terran very last. So no gas still is going to be possible here. Should see if that gas coming down before too much longer, unless he's planning on going for a 1 Rax expand, but that seems kind of risky on this map. There's the gas. Okay, gas coming down from our Protoss as well. Should see our Protoss just go for a Cybernetics core and do just a standard Dragoon expansion. As I said, the natural here is kind of wonky, just like the main. This is your only real choke here, so it's not something you can really wall off. I'd like to see a Zerg versus Protoss, a Zerg versus Terran, see how that's handled on those maps. Our Terran player does get in. He's going to want to keep this SEV alive as long as possible. Cybernetics core thrown down for our Red Protoss player AnyTime. And so far, just a standard game. Should see at least one Marine made here. Yep, there we go. Just a little bit slow on that. That's perfectly normal and perfectly fine. He's over here, you know, microing his SEV, getting as much scouting information as he can, being annoying, harassing these probes. And that SCV is going to keep on its merry way. Protoss is just about to finally get to the correct base. He should be able to get in, but this probe will not get out if he does go in. This Marine should be able to kill it. Oh, actually dancing a little bit there with the Marine. Marine's going to turn around and get one shot off, but Protoss will be able to get in here and get full scouting information. Should see that factory going down, getting that timing. One factory expand from our Terran player is pretty normal. And then we do have a bunch of probes coming out. I'm not sure what's going on here. We do have, where is this probe going? It might be possible he doesn't know where the base is on this map. Or he's expecting a proxy. It might be that he's expecting a proxy. Certainly seems like he's checking some areas for proxies. He already knows there's nothing over here from his initial scout, so not much other reason to go. I mean, you could proxy here, you could proxy here. There's a lot of other places to check on this map. Lots of proxy possible locations. But our Dragoon is coming out, and this SCV is no longer going to get any more scouting information. Won't even be able to see if range has started or not, but that's okay, not the end of the world. Factory will be finishing up soon. We should be seeing a Nexus coming down. Oh, we're going to get a second gateway before Nexus from a Protoss. This is kind of an older build, but it is still used on occasion. The idea behind this is that you're going to try and get 4 faster Dragoons to pressure the Terran. It might be really strong on this map because this expansion is going to be hard for a Terran to hold. There's no simple wall that they can just throw down a bunker and have tanks hiding behind. It's a very wide open area, very easy for 4 Dragoons to just walk right in and snipe any tanks that come out. We do have more Marines coming out, so it looks like we might maybe see a 1 factory pressure. Is he going to get mines and then just send the Marines out with some vultures? Stopping at a 5th Marine. It might just be some extra safety because of how wide open this area is. And we do have a command center finally coming down for our Terran player. Still no Nexus from our Protoss player. In fact, we've got a Citadel of a Dune, so we might be seeing some Dark Templars in this game. Still have a hidden probe up here in the top left. A random pylon down here where he might be hiding that tech. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see what he does want to do with that. 2 Dragoons out on the map, making 2 more here back at home. The Citadel of Adun should finish up before too much longer, and our Dragoon range is about to finish. We do have Vulture speed first, so we might see some pressure out of our Terran player here. If he starts rallying some Vultures across the map, it could do a lot of damage. Our Protoss player is very much going for that quick tech up. Citadel of Adun is just about to finish, so we'll see if he does throw down that Templar tech or if he's planning on doing something else with it. Speed Zealots aren't impossible to use. There is the Templar tech, so we are going to be seeing some DTs this game. We do have 4 Dragoons out now, which means any kind of pressure coming across the map's pretty easy for Protoss to stop. If he catches this tank out in the open, these Marines will do a lot of DPS, but he can snipe this tank down pretty quick if he catches it at the right angle. And if he can't quite get the right angle with a Dragoon range, he can outrange these Marines and pick them off slowly. There's not really much that a Terran can do here to push across the map. But Terran is taking expansion, and so far is running on almost no information. Getting a second factory down, he's going to need to get an engineering bay, like, right this second. There's the engineering bay. Good, that's perfect timing. That should get the turrets out, hopefully just in time. We'll have to make sure the displacement is good. No bunker down here. And the fact that our Protoss player AnyTime isn't pushing with Dragoon should have our Terran player here a bit worried. Excuse me, there's a proxy gate over here which caught me off guard a little bit. I was wondering what this was going to be used for. So we are going up to 3 gates. Our Protoss player is very much going all in on our Terran player here. We'll have to see how Boxer holds this. This could be a very threatening situation. We don't have mines, but we do have Vulture speed. So if we don't get turrets down, these DTs when they come could do a lot of damage. And controlled well, these Dragoons can pick off these Marines and possibly come in and pick off these tanks, but it is very difficult to micro that properly. And right now, the Protoss player is being pushed back, does get a couple Marines here, and does get the one Vulture, but the tanks are so far completely undamaged, and he's going to chase this Terran back into his base. Terran's got a 3rd tank coming down, but he has enough Dragoons that he can fight 3 tanks with good micro and good target firing. First tank is going to fall. If our Terran player targets correctly, 2 of these Dragoons are extremely weak. That's a 2nd down. He needs to get this 3rd one down, but the DT has arrived. The DT has arrived, and we do not have any detection. No detection at all. He has finished the engineering bay, but he did not start a missile. Mines aren't even done yet, so we can't even place down defensive mines. We've got Dragoons in the main of our Terran player here. We got a Vulture being chased around by a DT. A second DT is going to come in and start harassing that mineral line. Just needs to move it over. Our Protoss player still hasn't expanded, so he is very much planning on trying to end the game right here, right now. Mines finally finished up, so we can start getting some mines down onto the map. Mines can see invisible units, so these mines can kill a DT. First mine is going to hit and connect, do some damage. We got a 3rd DT coming in now. The natural is being completely uncontested. I'd like to see this DT going down to the natural. A lot of damage coming out here right now. Our Terran player is now supply blocked. We've got DTs killing SCVs, and not really much that can be done here. Missile turret's trying desperately to come up, but it can just be targeted fired. He needs to move this eBay over here and build it under the eBay and try and stop these DTs from being able to attack it. We might be seeing a real quick GG from our Terran player Boxer here. I'm not entirely sure how he's going to be able to defend this. Getting a missile turret up in the natural is still pretty much being ignored, but even if he can secure this natural, all of his production is in the main base, and he will have to float it down here if he wants to defend. Not to mention that he has no real units on the map. We do have some more spider mines being laid down. If one of these DTs walks into a spider mine without paying close attention, he could lose them all, and that could give him a chance back into this game. But we've got all of the supply depots now have fallen. Still not supply boxed somehow. That missile turret did go down. Another uncontested DT and Zealot in the mineral line of our yellow Terran Boxer. SCV going down, true, but Zealot taking a lot of damage from that mine. Very, very damaged Vulture. 2 HP left on that. SCVs aren't even fighting back. They're just letting this happen, letting themselves die. I think that our Protoss player has done it. He's expanding to the top left in the meantime. Even if our Terran does recover, it gives him a very good standing to have that base set up. And I'm not sure how our Terran player is going to recover from this location, or this spot. Is that missile turret going to finish? It is going to finish, but it's not going to do himself much good. He's got 1 Marine fighting against a DT and a Zealot. And it is just looking horrible. I think we're going to see GG any minute. Well played by our Terran Boxer. Caught completely off guard. He was ready for the DTs. He just needed to build those missile turrets, but with those Dragoons pushing across the map, it caught him off guard, and he wasn't able to pull that out.